Welcome to deep, dark depths, where the shadows whisper ancient secrets and the line between reality and nightmare dissolves completely. Tonight we present 3 terrifying true tales sent by our viewers, exploring madness, karma, and the unseen entities watching us. Our first descent into darkness begins with a college student whose mind became a breeding ground for a parasitic delusion. It started innocently enough during the humid summer semester, when the heat was oppressive and the buzzing of insects never ceased. My friend began acting strangely, scratching his arms until they were raw, claiming that the mosquitoes were targeting only him. He insisted that they weren't just biting him, but that they were burrowing deep inside to lay their wretched eggs. Sleep became a distant memory for him as he stayed awake, holding a flashlight, waiting to catch the invisible intruders. We tried to tell him there were no bugs, but paranoia had already constructed a fortress around his crumbling, logical mind. One night, he screamed that they were hatching, clawing at his flesh to release the swarm he believed was inside. The scene was gruesome, a testament to how fragile the human mind is when consumed by a singular, terrifying idea. Doctors called it delusional parasitosis, a condition where the patient firmly believes they are infested by pathogens or small insects. Medical scans showed nothing underneath his skin, yet he could feel them crawling, biting, and consuming him from the inside. Even now, heavily sedated in a facility, he still whispers about the buzzing sound that no one else can hear. Perhaps the most terrifying part is not the madness itself, but the possibility that he perceives something we cannot see. We leave the itching madness behind to travel back in time to a story of spiritual power and karmic retribution. Our second tale revolves around Monk Jinmuk, a legendary figure known for his supernatural abilities and deep connection to nature. He was a man of peace, but the local farmers often mocked his piety, testing his resolve with cruel pranks. One day, they caught many fish from the sacred stream and decided to cook a spicy stew right before him. They taunted Jinmuk, daring him to break his vows and partake in the meal of flesh they had just killed. To their utter shock, the monk did not refuse. Instead, he ate the soup with a calm and terrifying appetite. The farmers laughed nervously, believing they had corrupted a holy man, dragging him down to their level of sin. But Jinmuk simply wiped his mouth and walked to the water's edge, preparing to relieve himself into the flowing stream. What happened next would become a legend passed down through generations. A miracle that defied all laws of natural biology. As the waste hit the water, it did not dissolve, but transformed instantly back into living, breathing, swimming fish. The fish were alive again, swimming away with vigor, leaving the farmers pale and trembling in the presence of divinity. Jinmuk turned to them and spoke softly about the sanctity of life, leaving them forever changed by the miraculous event. From the ancient mountains of the east, we moved to the cold, cobblestone streets of Cologne, Germany, for our final story. This story comes from a viewer who walked his dogs every night, seeking peace in the quiet of the city. It was a routine route near a park, a place that usually felt safe, until one particular freezing winter night. Animals often sense what we cannot, and that night his dogs refused to move forward, staring into the dark void. A sudden, unnatural chill swept through the street, dropping the temperature far below what the weather forecast had predicted. He felt an intense pressure, a heavy gaze pressing against his back, triggering every primal survival instinct he possessed. Then came the whisper, clear as a bell, right next to his ear. A commanding voice telling him to go home. He spun around, expecting to see a stranger, but the street was completely empty, silent except for his own heartbeat. The dogs panicked, dragging him away from that spot, desperate to escape whatever invisible presence was lurking in the shadows. He made it home safely, but the feeling of dread lingered, a cold weight that settled deep in his chest. In the weeks that followed, a tragedy unfolded that cast a sinister light on that strange encounter in the park. 3 of his close friends, who lived in that same neighborhood, took their own lives in rapid, unexplained succession. He began to wonder if the voice wasn't a threat, but a warning to save him from the entity claiming them. To this day, he avoids that street, convinced that something ancient and hungry walks the night in Cologne, Germany. These 3 stories, though separated by time and geography, share a common thread: the fragility of our perceived reality. Whether it is a glitch in the brain, a spiritual miracle, or a ghostly encounter, the unknown is always terrifying. We invite you, the viewer, to share your own experiences with the darkness. Do not let your stories die untold. Send your encounters to us. We are building an archive of the unexplainable, a library of human fear and resilience. Remember, the world is older and stranger than we can imagine, and we are merely guests in its shadows. Time runs out for everyone, but stories are eternal. They warn us, teach us, and sometimes they haunt us forever. If you enjoyed these tales, consider subscribing to our channel to ensure you never miss a journey into the abyss. Like the video if you felt a chill, and comment below which of the 3 stories terrified you the most. Was it the insects under the skin, the monk's miracle, or the whispering entity in the cold German streets? Your engagement fuels our search for the paranormal. Join our community of truth seekers and help us uncover the hidden reality. Sleep well tonight, but keep one eye open. You never know when the line between story and reality might blur. We will return soon with more evidence from the edge of sanity. Until then, trust your instincts and stay safe. The darkness is not empty. It is simply waiting for you to look close enough to see what hides within. Do not ignore the scratching sounds in your walls or the whispers in the wind. They might be trying to communicate. Reality is a fragile construct, easily broken by the anomalies that exist just outside our limited field of vision. We are watched by forces we cannot comprehend, and sometimes ignorance is the only shield we have against total madness. Every shadow holds a potential story, every silence a potential scream. We are merely the narrators of this endless horror. Check your logs, look under your bed, and never answer a whisper that calls your name from an empty room. Thank you for spending your time in the deep, dark depths. We appreciate your courage in facing these true terrors. This is the end of our broadcast for tonight, but the stories will continue to live on in your nightmares. Think about the student scratching his arm. Is there an itch you have right now that just won't go away? Reflect on the monk and the fish. Life is resilient, mysterious, and bound by laws we have yet to discover. And remember the cold whisper in Germany. Some entities want you to leave, while others might want you to stay forever. We are closing the book for now, but the library of horror is vast, and we have only just begun. Be sure to turn on notifications so you are alerted the moment we release our next investigation into the unknown. Share this video with a friend who thinks they are brave. Let's see if they can handle the deep, dark depths. You are safe now, or at least you think you are. But remember, fear is the oldest emotion we have. The dead do not always stay dead, and the living are not always as alive as they appear to be. We are all caught in a web of fate, waiting for the predator to arrive. Do not struggle too much. The universe is watching you. Make sure your story is one worth telling when you finally face the ultimate darkness. The fire is dying out, and the cold is creeping in. Stay warm, stay vigilant, and stay tuned for more. Music soothes the savage beast, but silence feeds the monsters under your bed. Which one will you choose tonight? From the heights of madness to the depths of despair, we have traveled a long way together in these 10 minutes. This is Deep, Dark Depths, signing off. May your sleep be peaceful, though we cannot guarantee it will be dreamless. Goodbye for now. Deep, Dark Depths watches over you. See you in the next video. Don't forget to look behind you.